Hey guys, so I've been asked by some people that I know different times about menu planning and how I do mine, because as we all know, there are lots of other ways. So this is what I start out with. I start out writing down the different kind of meats that I normally buy, any vegetables that I normally buy, and then breakfast items that I normally buy. Once I have this, I go out to my freezer outside in the garage, my refrigerator, inside and out, and write down how much I have on hand of each item. That's how I'm not going to drag you guys with me because it wouldn't be that fun for you guys. So I'm going to go out, check these items, write them down, and I'll meet you guys right back here and we'll keep going from there. Okay, so I went out there and checked. So this is what I have and don't have. And I did forget that I did have shrimp out there. I know this is not a lot, and that's fine. Because of course we're going to start menu planning from here. But this gives me an idea of what I've got out there to work with for the next few days. Well, probably longer than that, but until I need to go out and go get more food. Okay, we're going to move over to the table and we're going to have a seat and we're going to start planning out the menu for February. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this so you guys can see what I'm doing and I'm still able to write as we go. Normally I do this half the time I do this on different colored pieces of paper. Let me find my other page. Okay, there it is. So, okay. Sorry about that. Normally I do different colors. I put the actual menu on one color and I track everything on another color. I started this part this morning before I thought about doing this as a video because I thought being asked about it. So all I do is I put the month at the top and I put the dates down here. The 2nd of February is a Friday. Every Friday we do leftover night. Some nights it's just whatever is in the fridge from the week, that is dinner. If there's not a lot of like vegetables or not a lot of meat, there's more of one or the other, I will sometimes add stuff to it if need be. Some nights for leftover night, there's not a lot, not a mishmash, but I have leftover extras like, excuse me, we had a really busy night last night. With after school activities with kids. So my neighbor had babysat. She fed my kids pizza. 3 of my kids pizza. So that just left my husband, one of our children, and me needing to eat dinner. But I had made 2 pounds of meat and made sloppy joe. We ate what we needed. There's enough in there. There's an entire meal. So I can either do one of 2 things. I can take the first, which is tomorrow, which right now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here because I have a dry erase board. Hang on one second, I'll show you. I have this dry erase board that hangs on my dining room wall, and this is the menu. Well, this is a really sloppy menu. It just started on the 30th. Normally I put the menu up Sunday through the following Saturday, all on that board, so whether a kid wants to see what's coming up for dinner, or like on the weekends, my husband tends to cook breakfast on the weekends. I plan it, he cooks it. It just helps us all know what's going on, and I know that I have everything on hand that we need. So right now I have pintos technically are scheduled for tomorrow. So what I could do is 2 things. I can go ahead and do pintos tomorrow and take the leftover sloppy joe stuff and make something for dinner, whether it be sloppy joes again or turn it into something else on the 2nd, or I can replace tomorrow's pintos, save those pintos, and move them somewhere else. In this case, because I know what's in there as far as leftover dinner goes right now, there's not a lot left in there for leftovers because we've either eaten it or I have already used it. I try to use anything I can in extra nights that week. So I'm going to leave pintos for tomorrow. The leftovers for Friday will end up being something to do with the sloppy joe. The other video, you guys are probably... I'm going to do my best to get it up tomorrow. And I'm trying to get this one up today. So the one that should be coming out tomorrow will actually be today's dinner, which is the pork shoulder butt. Like I said in that video, it's such a huge butt. I'm going to say we're getting 3 meals out of it. Now basically what that means is tonight for dinner, I will pull enough for us to have dinner tonight, and then I will separate it out for 2 more dinners. Now, I already have the 3rd, which is Saturday, listed that we will be having, I forgot my little dashes, biscuits with gravy for breakfast. And for dinner, we're going to do some Alfredo pasta with shrimp. Okay, so because I'm putting the shrimp here, I come to this page that tells me what I've got, and I tend to mark it out, that way I know that I've used it and I don't plan it for another night. Okay, so that just leaves me with the rest of the month. Normally, I do this sitting in my recliner in front of my laptop, and I will go on Pinterest and I will find things that we like to eat, like to do, and that's what we do, and that's how I plan the menu. I did not bring my laptop in here today because I figured you guys don't want to watch me peruse Pinterest, trying to find recipe ideas. It'd probably be pretty boring. So instead, I'm just going to pull from the basic stuff that we like and fill in the menu. So I know that based on this, I have 2 packages of bacon, no sausage, and then I have, it's more than 1.5. It'll be basically, it's an 18 count plus basically 12 count by the time I'm done doing my husband's breakfast and stuff for this weekend. Saturday's biscuits and gravy, so I don't need eggs. So Sunday we'll do some bacon, egg, and we'll do some pancakes. Okay, so that'll be our Sunday. And then I go back over here. You guys can't even see it. I come over here. What I tend to do is I mark off the number 2 and I put a 1 in a circle. That's how I do it. And then I'm just going to mark out the things that I have none of. Basically, this means I'm going grocery shopping probably Friday because I don't have a lot of vegetables in the house right now. You know, it happens. I don't always think ahead. Okay, let's see. Now we need to look at dinner on Sunday. And my goal on the weekends, and it's totally family specific, we have gotten into hiking a lot, so I try to keep the dinners fairly easy because if we go for a 4 to 6 mile hike during the day, I really don't want to come home and be cooking for hour, 2 hours trying to get dinner done with something really complicated. So I try to keep that in mind on the weekends in case we go hiking. So that's where we stand with that. Now, when I say turkey here, I put 4 rolls. I use ground turkey. I typically do not buy ground beef. It makes my stomach very upset. I can't handle it. And we've really discovered we don't like the grease. We prefer the ground turkey. It's easier to store. I have less grease when you store it. It doesn't taste as greasy. So I have 4 rolls of ground turkey. And that is basically 2 meals worth. Each roll is 1 pound. And I buy them from Aldi's. They're $1.86 per roll at my local Aldi's, which is where I buy a lot of my stuff. So equals 2 meals for us, which is 2 pounds of meat per. So what we're going to do, one of those, ooh, I gotta get that cooked. Okay, so we'll do that Sunday. One of those meals will be spaghetti. So, and this is going to look weird when I write this, but bear with me and I'll explain as I go. We are doing a hiking spaghetti rehydrate. Now, in case for those who are wondering, like I said, we go hiking. You can easily buy the little bags, typically for about $1, of like the rice and different pastas that you cook really quick. Or you can buy the meals in the camping section that are $5 per meal. Now, that's fine and great. We don't like all the extra preservatives, mainly because, honestly, my stomach can't handle it. So I plan to spend time tomorrow making my own pasta, mainly because the pasta's not bad. I do usually use boxed pasta, so don't get me wrong. We will be using boxed pasta right there, not a problem. Normally, I would buy boxed pasta. Aldi's has it, 79 cents a box. But I want to try making my own and dehydrating it, because cost-wise, I can get a larger amount of pasta made at a cheaper cost than buying it by the box. So I want to try, and I want to see how it does by being dehydrated and then cook it from basically from fresh quickly. I'm thinking I'm going to have to quickly at least blanch it at least and then dehydrate it. I'm not sure. That part I've got to look up still. I may go straight to drying it because I know you can dry pasta straight after it's made. I'm going to dehydrate the pasta sauce. I'm going to cook the meat and dehydrate the meat and the mushrooms and the bell peppers and everything that's going into it. I'm dehydrating the entire meal of spaghetti. And what we want to do is we want to see how it needs to be bagged up so that if we go hiking and we're doing an overnight camp and hike, how much do we need to take with us per person to have a good quality, decent tasting spaghetti meal? So the goal this week is to dehydrate everything and get it all that way, and then rehydrate it on the weekend so we can all try it and kind of play around with different levels. Since there's 6 people, we have 6 shots of getting this. We have 6 shots to get this right. So that's what the hiking spaghetti is. Feel free, regular spaghetti works too for those who just want to cook it at home. That leaves me 2 rolls, which is 1 meal, which I noted. I know you guys can't see it, but I am making these notes on my paper still. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down a little ways and pick a day later on that week. If my camera will focus. So we will go, say, the 7th, and we're going to do chili. That'll take out my other 2 rolls of turkey. Basically, this chili, I buy my canned beans from Aldi's, mainly because I don't always feel like rehydrating beans ahead of time, or I typically tend to forget. Sorry, had to get a drink. My chili is straight up, I cook the meat. I dump in a smaller can of chili beans, kidney beans, a large can of pinto beans, a can of fire roasted tomatoes, and occasionally, sometimes, I'm looking across the room trying to remember in case you're curious of why I'm being so slow. I'll get the small cans of tomato sauce, and sometimes I'll put a small one of those in there. It just depends on how it goes. I keep the juice in the chili beans and put that whole can in there. All the other beans I drain. I cook the meat in the crock pot first. My meat takes roughly, if it's thawed, it takes about an hour to cook completely. If I put the meat in frozen, which I typically do because I tend to forget about getting it out in time, I have to give it about 2 to 3 hours to cook. But I dump it all in there, mix it around. I also put in some different chili seasonings and stuff, and I let it go, and then we eat it that night. Quick and easy, for the most part, a mix and forget. Let's see. I also have 1 box of hamburger patties that we buy at Aldi's. It's under $6. It's $5.46 or $5.86 a box. You get 16 patties. I can easily divide that into 2 meals. So we will have that. So I'll pick 2 nights for that. Now my big grocery shopping trip is normally the 9th. I'm not sure if my husband will go with me or not. We'll see. That's usually when I go grocery shopping. So anything after the 9th is stuff that I plan ahead. I try to use everything that's in my freezer on the meals up here because it makes life a whole lot easier based on what I have on hand. So we'll come up here. I've got a package of pork chops. So we will put pork chops here. And I'm sorry the camera's shaking. My arm is hitting it. And we'll go with, I did buy at Aldi's the other day some Applewood smoked bacon mashed potatoes. I love to make my own potatoes from actual potatoes and make my own mashed potatoes, but when I can snag the Applewood bacon ones that are really cheap, I really like to grab those. They are so good. Mashed potatoes. And chances are I'll put some kind of a salad or I'll put a vegetable with that, but if I don't know what I'm going to put with it, I will leave it blank. And I may just do that and make some kind of roll or something. You just never know. Sometimes I'll change that part up a little bit. Let's see. I have one pack of pork country ribs out there, and there's not enough for an entire meal, so I'm going to move those down here after I go grocery shopping. So we're going to go to like the 13th with those, and we're going to put, we're going to say pork ribs into a stir fry. All I'm going to do, I will season them, I will cut them up, I will cook them, and I will toss them with some stir-fry vegetables. I'm not sure which ones I'll pick yet, whichever ones I grab at the store. Stir-fry vegetables, I will grab some Asian noodles, and I will toss it all together with some seasoning, and that will be our stir-fry. That way I don't have to go out and buy any specific steak to make a stir-fry. Now, we still have 2 days left before the grocery shopping trip. What I'm going to do, now I don't know how, because I have an 8.26 pound ham, I'm just going to write ham there because I don't know how I'm going to prepare that ham just yet. I haven't split it apart yet. I will be doing that probably here. Okay, well, it's after 2 o'clock today. It won't be today. It'll probably be tomorrow when I come in to work on pasta because I have not eaten yet today. We'll put ham here. We're actually going to put some ham with breakfast here. We're going to do ham, egg, tomato, mushroom, and I just put mush. I abbreviate a lot of things. And cheese, omelet, which I probably didn't really need to put in there that we were going to use eggs. It's probably pretty obvious. What was I going to say? I don't remember. I don't know. So that'll be ham. Oh, I just put ham. I'll put the ham like this, and I usually will just put question marks there. Sometimes I throw the ham with something that I have left over from ahead of time. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry and for some reason I'm running late with kid activities, I'll do ham, egg, and cheese quiche, no crust. I just scramble the eggs, dice the ham, throw in the cheese, a little bit of milk, a little salt and pepper, sometimes some garlic. Chunk it in a pan, chunk it in the oven. There's dinner. Kids love it. Quick, easy, great, in, out, done kind of thing. Now, let's see. Here we will do, we're going to use some of the hamburger patties. So we're going to do Salisbury steak. Now you can buy, and I know that's not spelled correctly. I never spell it correctly, so forgive me on that. Now on the Salisbury steak, normally I buy the package of brown gravy mix from Aldi's as well. I think they finally have come out with some low sodium ones because normally the regular ones are way too salty for us and they make me sick. So I'm going to try to look for low sodium. So be careful if you mix those two. They do get kind of high in sodium. We'll do some Salisbury steak with some baked potato. And yes, I do put baked pot a lot. My kids love to pick on me about the fact that I use the word pot a lot instead of potatoes. See, Salisbury steak, baked potatoes, and I'll put something else there. I may get some more green beans or I may do a salad. I don't know which. Let's see. Let's mark off the 2 meals. Mark that down to 1. I know, I'm sorry you can't see it, but I promise right over there I am marking this off as I go. Let's see. If I don't go shopping there, it will be here. So we will do, my kids love to have, one second, stop whining. Sorry, my puppy is in there whining in the living room. He's mad because I haven't been holding him today and playing with him. We'll do a subs and chips night for dinner. My kids get mad when we skip sub night once a month. I get some very upset children's. Let's see what else. We do have a breakfast up here. We will just do oatmeal here. We'll come down here for breakfast. I sometimes like to just do them all of one type. We'll do grits here, and we'll do some breakfast burritos. For us, breakfast burritos consist of a pound of ground sausage. We buy the double packs of chorizo. We only use one stick out of it. Eggs, cheese, and sour cream, and tortillas. But my husband's really great about making sure he really drains that grease for me. And I cheat, and we usually have lots left over. I will actually pre-roll breakfast burritos for my husband's breakfast the next week while he's at work, which makes my mornings a little easier. So we have that for breakfast. I think here, because I'm going to make pasta, I do have that other bacon in there. We're going to do, I hate doing this back to back like that. It's okay though. We'll do some BLTs with, I'll make a pasta salad. Which would be, and again, because this is on a Sunday, it'll be great if we do go hiking that day. It'll be a very quick and easy dinner. I can pre-cook the bacon and pre-cut everything and just be ready to go. I'm sorry if it's echoing. I feel like my kitchen, for some reason, is echoing today. Okay. So we're now halfway through the month. And before we keep going, this is how I do the shopping. I do it all based off paydays. Like for me, my paydays are always on a leftover day. So, next payday is on the 9th. Anything that I need up here, I get now. If it's not needed prior to the next payday, I do not buy it. Even if hubby does not go do a major grocery shopping trip with me, he will go for minor items. And so if I have to on those minor item days, because we go out for what we go out for date day, we do late date lunches instead of having to pay for a babysitter in the evening, twice a month. And it's always on the payday. We'll grab the minor things then, and those minor things, when I grab those, they literally only last me for the next 2 days. I can go out Monday and then do the rest of the shopping trip for the rest of the month if I need to. And when I do the shopping trip down here, I try to grab a few things extra to tide me over into the next month if I need to, or if I think to grab something extra and find a really good deal. And I'm sorry if this video seems like it's kind of long. Okay, so we have half a month to go. Instead of talking, I'm just going to kind of plan things out. Like I said, sometimes I will just put the meat item on there, figure out the sides and stuff to go with it later. Totally works, totally fine. Why not, right? So, here we go. And the HB means hamburger, for those who don't always know my abbreviations. Hamburger Patties. Okay, so I just caught myself on this. I was talking about that pork butt that I have earlier, or the pork shoulder, and then I would have a total of 3 meals out of it. The one I've got now, and then 2 more. I did not put that on here whatsoever. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to take the ham off the 6th, and we're going to put shoulder there. I will do something with the pork shoulder. Same thing with the tin. I'm going to remove the ham, and I'm going to put that shoulder there. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, that's a long time to leave it sitting in the fridge. I'm not going to leave it just sitting in the fridge. I will freeze it in between. I will separate it, and I will freeze it. That way it doesn't go bad. So that gives me 2 more ham meals that I can now move over here. So we'll put ham here, because I'm going to cut the ham up, and then I'm going to put it in separate bags. I'll find actual meals for it, and then I will take and put that away. Matter of fact, we'll do ham, egg, cheese, veg quiche. And then I'll cut up the ham and dice it, I'll label it, and put it in the fridge. These other 2 ham meals that are back there, I will decide what's going to be happening with them, and I will make sure that those get diced up and loaded correctly. We will do a ham pasta salad here as a meal, because I put ham, I put peas, the pasta, and usually ranch. I'm coming back over here, the shoulder, and we'll do some kind of we'll use the sweet potatoes here that are underneath my cabinet. Takes care of those. I'm not going about labeling the potatoes because I use potatoes in everything. Also here, when I put nachos, this may be nachos using chips. I threw my kids off the other night, and we had what I was calling nachos, but instead it was like diced up potatoes. It was like basically a baked potato, but on diced up potatoes, so I called it like a nachos. So I'm not sure if that'll be, which type of nachos that'll be. I just never know. Okay, so that leaves me 4 dinners left to go. Let's go with, let's set this up a little bit. We're going to grab and do a 15 bean soup here. Hopefully it's still cold at this point in February. If not, we'll still eat it. Leaves 3 days left. I'm trying to think. We can do a big batch of egg salad sandwiches or wraps. I don't know. We might do it as wraps too. My kids love when I wrap stuff up in tortillas and different wraps. That's a really good source of protein that way too. And then I'll put something with it. Let's see. We can also do and I'm going to write this as canned chicken. And on this one, what I do is I buy the really large cans of chicken. I drain them. I chop the chicken that's in there. It's a canned chicken Mexican bake. A friend of mine showed me how to do it. She uses canned cream of mushroom and canned cream of chicken in hers. I make my cream of mushroom and cream of chicken soup fresh, literally within a day or 2 of actually using it, mainly because I forget to always buy it, so I just make my own. But it's canned chicken, or you can use ground beef, cream of chicken and cream of mushroom if you're using chicken. If you're doing the beef one, cream of mushroom, and she uses a cream of celery. You also will mix in cheese. You will take your tortillas, roll them up, and you'll just chop them the way you would chop up, say, chives or scallions, something like that. Mix it all together, pop it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, roughly around 350, until it's just nice and really bubbly and hot, and then sprinkle more cheese on top of it and pop it back in the oven just long enough for that cheese to melt. Pull it out. It's amazing. Sometimes I do mix in salsa or diced tomatoes or something with it. Sometimes I add that afterwards, based on the moisture content, because they can make it kind of watery sometimes if you're not careful. And the 28, I'm trying to come up with things that we don't eat all the time, in case you're wondering. And actually what we're going to do, we haven't done these in a while. So HD for me, it's hot dogs. So I'll do hot dogs. I'll make my version of mac and cheese. So hot dogs, mac and cheese. I need to make sure I put this on. I gotta put chili on there because my kids have been getting mad because I haven't had chili with our hot dogs the last couple times. And I will make some kind of fries. So there it is. I'm sorry this video is so long. Pretty simple, pretty easy. based on what I'm getting, because of the cost of things, like I said, I buy my meat as much on clearance as I can. I love to buy the big hams so I can split them up, make multiple meals. I buy a little extra. There are some different meats that I do buy that I just keep in the fridge that are extra that I've already used this month, but I have them in case I need quick meals, forgot something, I need something on a leftover night. I will try my best. If my husband does not go with me on the big shopping trip on the 9th, I will do my best to remember to take you guys along. And you guys can kind of see how I shop. I go to Aldi, I go to Food Lion, and I do go to Walmart. Those are my 3 stores. Well, and there's also Sam's Club, because there are certain things that I buy at Sam's that are better deals than anywhere else. So if I'm able to take you guys with me, I will take you guys with me. We will do that. And if I do, I will show you how I make my shopping list for that when that happens. As you can see from this list, you know, the eggs, I'm not going to mark those off because I don't track all of that too much. I do have 1 pack of bacon left, I think. Or nope, I used them on BLTs. I forgot to mark that one off. I use the sweet potatoes. This pound of potatoes, it will all get used, no problem. I do know that I have half a bag of green beans, a full bag of mixed vegetables, and I did use those. The ham, chances are I have more ham than I have put on my menu. That's fine. It freezes well. I use it in breakfast stuff for my husband all the time during the week. I do have mixed vegetables, so let's see where they will go. Go ahead and put those on here. Shoulder. And I'm still going to have to get another bag because I only have 1 bag of those. Because I didn't need them the other night. So we'll put the mixed vegetables here with that pork shoulder that night. And I have half a bag of green beans. So what I'll do is I will put those green beans, which I label as GB, the Salisbury steak, because we're having a Salisbury steak and potatoes. I don't have to have a huge amount of green beans on everybody's plate. So that is that. That is my menu planning for this month, and that's pretty much how I do it every month. I sit down, I do it. It takes me about an hour, unless I'm sitting down with husband and the kids and they're helping me come up with things. Sometimes it takes longer, but it does make it more fun, and you get to put some of the things they want on your menu. Don't be afraid to have to modify this. I do it all the time. My kids hate it. I modify it. I'm real big on saying, okay, it's leftover night, or okay, tonight we're having ham, but I didn't buy this to go with it. What do I have that I can throw together? Throw stuff together. Have fun with it. Be surprised what you can come up with. I make lots of unique creations. But until next time, there's the menu planning. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's so long. You're a rock star if you stayed to the end of this, and I will see you guys next time.